Hopefully the thing from last night didn't happen. No, no, we're good, Ashley. We're good. We're only like a minute late, guys. Chill, relax. We're here. Don't worry.
Run around with your hands flailing in the air. Ah!
Jake's having some technical difficulties with his internet, so I'm not sure if Jake's going to be able to join us. So that's the hold up. We're trying to see if we can get Jake or not. But how is everyone? That is a good question, Danielle. We do not know.
Someone came in. Jacob!
I don't know why it's doing that. It's the first time I've ever seen it do that. I need somebody to say something.
Something!
Strawberry waffles.
Something! Something!
Okay, I need somebody else to say something.
Oh, fine!
Fart noise.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I need Jake to say something.
Buckety boo.
I'm in the dark tonight because I don't want to turn on the lights.
That's fine. I don't want to turn on my brain. Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, it's actually not bad. Now that instead of it being kind of like that twilight, where it's actually completely dark, it makes it a lot better.
Nobody likes Twilight. It's a terrible
No, no
movie.
one likes.
I love Twilight Town and Kingdom Hearts. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Hey, everyone.
Twilight's a terrible movie. I would know. I haven't seen it.
I thought you sat there and watched it with your dad one day, because bonding time.
No.
Bonding.
No, no, no. No, 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 no. My father told me he watched Twilight and he really liked it. So I told him, "You're fucked up." And I put on the Vampire Diaries and I made him
And you
watch
are not
that.
my father anymore.
Yeah,
I disowned my
that's
dad
what happened.
because of Twilight.
I made
Are
him
you
watch
not?
the Vampire Diaries.
You are going through a phase, father, and it'll pass.
You're going through a phase.
No.
Oh, Lord. I'm just going to do something real quick.
Your face is
Before
going to do something real quick.
Because if I don't do this right now, I'm going to forget about it. And then 4 a.m. will come by and I'll be like, shit. Buttons. There we go.
Buttons, where are the buttons?
Who's got the button?
Buttons. Who's got the buttons?
What's that from?
Fred. I work in a button factory. I have a wife.
And a
3
dog
kids.
and a family. One day,
God.
my boss came up to me and said, "Hey, Joe, are you busy?" I said, "No."
You push this button with your right hand.
Hi,
Boy.
my name is Joe, and I work in a button factory. I got a wife and a dog and a family.
Oh boy.
So push the button with your left hand.
Is this a game of Twister that I've never heard about?
Yeah.
Pretty
It's
much.
kind of like.
It's kind of like an inverted Simon.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah.
It's just how much can you keep stacking on top. You don't have to repeat everything that you already did, but when you get to like push the button with your right hand, you have to start pushing the button, and then you move on to the next thing, and
And
then
you're
you gotta
going
go
like
to the
this.
next hand,
Oh,
and then you go to your foot, and then you go to your head, and then
Right.
you go to your elbows, and then you go to
Yeah,
your knees, and it just gets so out of hand until you can't possibly add anything else. You add your nose and your tongue and literally
gotta
everything
get
you can.
creative.
Yeah, it's who can go longer. Like, so say the 4 of us were in a room, right? I start out one and I do the action. Everybody else has to copy it. The next person has to recite it, add a new action, and it goes around until somebody can't possibly
So,
come up
if
with a new
someone-
action.
If someone forgets an action, does everybody get to stop doing that action?
No, because you're doing the action physically. You don't repeat the action. You don't say, oh, your left hand and your right hand. No, your left hand is already going. Everybody simultaneously is doing this. And you just go from doing the pointing, pushing the button, you just go and push the button with your left hand. And then
Yeah, I'd find the
everybody's got to
loophole
do
and
this.
be like, oh, someone forgot to. Okay. I thought it was like you were so.
Nope.
And if you forget an action, everybody's
Nope.
like, oh, yes. Oh, relief.
No, you do not. You just keep
Oh,
going
that's-
until there's no more actions left to do.
Why the fuck would somebody play that game?
I don't
Seriously,
know.
that's
Ask Sharon, Lois, and
stupid.
Bram.
Oh, yeah, they did that. Sharon and Lois and Bram, why the hell?
It was the Elephant Show.
I remember the Elephant Show.
I loved it because there was a an elephant tightrope walking on a spider web.
Mm-hmm.
Skinnamarink dinky dink.
In a marinky doo.
I love that Jake's too old for it, but he remembers it.
I'm too old for it. Yeah.
I mean,
I
too
mean,
young.
I mean, it's too old for Jake. But he
No, I am
remembers it.
too old for it. See, I'm a vampire from the 50s, and like that's why I dress the way that I do.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
But why I know the references, but this is why I look young.
Because I remember watching that. I can't really call it a cartoon. It had a cartoon intro. But I remember watching that show when I was like 2 years old.
I watched Sesame Street. I missed
Lewis
Charlie.
said, "You can't stop me, because I'm Kim Possible." Jake just knows all the shows.
Yeah.
He does work with kids. I mean, they're far off from, our generation, but I mean,
No, I just watch them on my own volition. I still watch cartoons,
oh, I still watch cartoons too.
and I watch old shit from the 1800s.
Jake was on the Titanic.
I was on the Titanic. I met Jesus. I caused the shirt waist fire. It's all.
He was on the Hindenburg. Jake is actually Jack the Ripper.
Do you know that they think Jack the Ripper was actually a female?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's been a theory
it's-
that they've been tossing around.
What did you call me?
Why'd you call Jake a female?
Because I was one in a previous life.
Oh, okay.
I was Annie Oakley. I was Annie Oakley. I was Harriet Tubman. I was Princess Diana.
Ichabod Crane.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
Mhm.
Alrighty what?
Are we good? We ready?
You're good. Spatula City, we have spatulas. And that's all. Everybody seen that movie?
No.
There's an entire commercial for this. It's basically Costco store, but for every type of spatula. And they have a little jingle. It's really nice. Spatula City, we have spatulas. And that's all.
I want to go there now. Their jingle worked.
Seriously, fingers? Quit being assholes.
Oh.
That's wrong. Fingers are not sphincters.
Listen, fingers are not supposed to be assholes.
That sounds like a horror movie waiting to happen.
Sounds like Teeth. It's the sequel to Teeth.
Oh god. Oh. It's not.
And that's all.
Yeah.
Alright. We ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Ashley doesn't know about teeth. Uh-oh.
I'm sure it's on Netflix. Go watch it.
Oh,
It
it's
is
still.
on-
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No,
It
you,
is
can-
on
It's a
Netflix.
trap.
you know what is on Netflix? Gremlins, and I was watching it.
Uh-huh.
And I introduced my children to it. And well, see, they didn't realize it was kind of a horror movie.
Oh no.
So
Poor
like,
kiddos.
so you had little Gizmo. They're like, Jacob, can you make me one? And I'm like, I don't think you want one.
My favorite is, I believe on Netflix, it's listed as a family comedy.
Mm-hmm. It
is,
is. It is.
It's actually it's got a bunch of subgenres too. You can actually look through all the different things and it overlaps. So
Yeah. I'm just
A lot
like,
of things, too.
I'm sorry, but Gremlins is not a family comedy.
Yes, it is. There's family in it, and there's comedy.
Do you hear what I hear? It's my
Oh.
favorite part of the movie. Because you think the song is playing as like a soundtrack in the thing, and then you realize, no, the mom is self-aware of the song. There's something going on here.
Well, no, I just wish that the music wasn't playing from a source. It was just random music that started playing out of thin air. She's like, "What the hell was that?" And then you had the town, which is just a map painting. I'm just hoping that someone points that out. Has anyone noticed that we live on a map painting?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so far away. That's just a map painting.
Okay, let's do this.
Kind of want to be Linda Belcher for Halloween.
All right.
All right.
Oh, Bob's Burgers. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like,
Boys are from Mars. Girls are from Venus. I've got a yum yum. You've got a penis.
She cracks me up.
Wow.
If you haven't watched it, you have to. Oh my god.
well, I was going to when it was on Netflix, and then they took it off promptly after putting it back on. So I was like, "What the hell?" And then
Oh my God.
then it's not on Hulu for who knows what reason. So I don't know.
Ashley
Here
says,
goes
Gremlins
the
freaked me out and scared me for life, and I will never watch it again. Hey,
You should watch
hey,
the second one.
Ashley. E.T. Right here.
I like
E.T.
My mom doesn't like E.T. either.
I never liked E.T.
I liked E.T.
I was
I'm fine with E.T.
3 years old.
I cried in the E.T.
I was 3 years old. We had E.T. on VHS, and I decided to try to watch it on my own.
What's a VHS?
So
Shut up.
I popped it in, and I'm watching it, and the little creatures crawling to the house stealing their Reese Pieces, and I was eating Reese Pieces at the time,
Oh.
and I freaked out and shut the movie off, and I've still never watched it to this day.
That was me with Nightmare Before Christmas. I only watched it just like last year in its
Same.
entirety.
Same with me.
I found out there are a lot of people who are actually afraid of that movie. I'm like, what?
I was legit afraid. That's why
I
only
wasn't
just
afraid.
recently watched it.
I just had this personal conundrum. Do I watch the movie on Halloween or do I watch it on Christmas?
Whenever you
watch it
fucking want.
between-
I just couldn't figure it out, so I just
from
never watched it.
Halloween to Christmas.
No, you watch it whenever.
Yes, that one.
I just never watched
It's on Netflix all year round
Yeah.
for a reason.
it. Mhm.
There was a sequel game to the movie. And I'm like, if more movies had sequels but in game form, the sequels would be so much better than the ones we actually got.
Yeah. Alright, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep, Freddy.
My name's not Freddy.
This
Eddie?
is Patrick.
Starting
Patrick!
starting in 5, 4, 3. Warning. I'm not the man you think I am. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Once Upon a Time, Season 7, Episode 2, A Pirate's Life. I'm your host, Dom. Joining me, we have Jake. Oh. Nikki. And Rachel. How's it going?
It's
Gone.
So, I'm not even going to ask you guys what you thought of this episode. What do you guys think of Hook not being Hook?
I love it. It's a really good way of making it so, Emma and Hook are still together.
Yeah.
But it's a different Hook.
Now, question, is it not kind of a cop-out? See what I did there? To say, like, okay, so we appease the fans who want Emma and Hook to have a happy ending, but you're still going to have Hook in the season, but it's not the Hook that you know, and it's not the Hook that you grew up with, but he's kind of the same, but not really, and he's a lot older, but he's younger.
I actually kind of liked the drunken Hook because he was like a little more sarcastic kind of thing. I kind of liked
he was like a super douchebag.
Right.
kind of.
So,
I kind of liked him. He cracked me up. He made me
for
laugh.
for clarification purposes out there, because I'm sure there are some people out there that may not realize what is going on. Last season, Regina made a wish. Was it Regina?
It was Regina. She made a wish to send Emma to
It
her happy
was
ending or whatever.
That she was never the savior.
Yes, that's the one.
That was evil Regina.
Evil
Right.
Regina.
So it brought Emma to this world. It created this whole wish world where the people just appeared because of this wish, right? So Emma met all these people where the curse had never been cast. So they got to live their lives out because they're still the same age that they would have been, except they didn't have the curse put on them, which slowed their aging to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So Hook aged the full length of the 21 years or whatever. How, was it
28.
28 years?
Mhm.
So yeah, he's 28 years older than the Hook that we know now, because of the curse and all that. So now apparently this Wish Realm Hook has been traveling and made it to this new realm, which we still don't have a name for. It's just been called the New Realm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he bumps into Hook. So This goes to show you right here, this episode alone, how much they're still keeping to tying in the canon from the previous series and not completely scrapping what happened.
There are people who call this season the spin-off show.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not a spin-off.
No, it's not.
Right.
You can call it whatever you want, but that's
not.
not what this is.
No.
Right. If anything, it's closer. I'm not calling it. It's closer to a reboot than it is a spin-off.
Mm-hmm.
By far closer to a reboot than it is a spin-off. It is not a spin-off. There's no way you can call it a spin-off.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Wonderland was a spin-off.
Yes. There you go. That's
Yes.
a spin-off.
This is not a spin-off.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I really, really like this because this gives us the freedom of Emma has her happy ending. Everybody's like, oh, does this wrap up Emma's story now? Like, is this going to be a satisfying thing? I think it is. I think this is a satisfying.
But it ain't over.
I think it's a satisfying ending for her.
It's not the end of it's not
Emma.
the end of the character Emma. We're going to get young Emma, like in flashbacks and stuff. Like we're going to see the character Emma throughout the rest of the season. Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't think so.
I think we're gonna see flashbacks.
I don't think so. See, the thing is, we don't know right now. We don't know how long has passed between Cursed Hyperion Heights and Storybrooke. We don't know that. For all we know, Emma's child could already be the same age as Henry. We don't know the time span between when the curse was cast and now. We don't. That is a fact. We do not know that information. The curse was not cast at the point where they went into this flashback.
But
we don't know how much time has passed.
I don't want the stupid time stopping and then people are the same age anymore. Can we not do that, please?
Yeah, I have a feeling that it's a little bit of a different curse. It's more the people are cursed, and I think they still grow older, and it's not exactly the place is cursed, just the people. They forget, and I think the longer they're in this curse, the more they forget about who they were.
There are normal people, quote unquote normal people, in the town.
Yeah. That's why I said the people are cursed, not the town.
Yeah, the curse is on the people. They don't have their whatever the New Realm memories. They don't know who they were. They are just these people who are cursed, and Lady Tremaine is trying to get these cursed people to separate, so they're not all in one place.
We're assuming a lot about the curse, though. We don't know. What we do know is they can leave the town. That's all we know. We don't know if they've stopped aging. We don't know if they can or can't age. This is all information we don't have at this point. All we know for sure is they can leave the town. We know that the town resists it because Jacinda's car broke down last episode trying to leave. We know that it resists it, but it doesn't prevent them from leaving. So that's all we know. We don't know any details about this curse. So, yes, the time is not stopped physically on a clock like, Storybrooke, but that doesn't mean the people don't age. We don't know that. So it is completely possible that Emma's baby has been born and is old enough by the time this curse has been cast, or by the time we're watching these characters right now. It's
in
possible.
The town?
In the town.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's possible.
I would say
I'm not saying it is, but it is possible. So finding out that Emma's pregnant though gives it gives us an ability to have Emma's story continue on as we watch through a new character, and be like, oh, this is the son or daughter of the savior. It does add some dimension to that and allow us to continue exploring Emma in a way without physically putting Emma on the screen. So Emma and Neil had Henry, and we have the heart of the truest believer. But I feel like Emma and Hook had true love, which is not what Emma and Neil had. Mm-hmm. And that would create a whole different style child. It would...
You got the baby of the Savior, 2 Dark Ones, and the Product of True Love. So,
Yeah.
wonder what
I
that
mean,
makes.
we know what the product of true love created in the first place. Like the first time we heard of this
Created
was
Emma.
it created Emma. So
I
are
don't
we
think.
getting
I
another
don't think.
savior?
I don't think the Product of True Love means that
No,
you
I
are
know,
the
not
Savior.
every
No.
time, but
No,
I
because
mean,
we learned that Rumpel was originally supposed to be the savior.
yeah.
And that definitely wasn't the product of true love.
Well, and then Aladdin was the savior.
Yeah. And we
So-
don't know about his parents, so like
They might have hated each other.
might
Yep.
be an arranged marriage, you know? We don't know.
Lewis says, Nikki, have your feelings changed? Will you miss Emma?
No. I'm happy that we kind of got a partially tied bow on her and she's gone. She's moving on.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no,
I
the
like-
character
I
Emma
like
is
this.
done. This is it. Jennifer Morrison will not be appearing on the show again. To our knowledge, things may
Not
change.
for a very long time.
Things may change, and we may find out when the show decides to finally have its final season that
Yeah.
Emma may come back for the final episode,
know
something
they
like that. It
They
could.
like to say, "Oh, well, she'll never come back," or she even likes to say, "You know, I'll never come back." Never say never.
Mhm.
You ever watched American Tail Five-Fold?
Well,
They
Never
said
say
never all the
Pan-
time in season 3.
Pan never
Well-
fails.
To be fair, Jennifer Morrison, she has this kind of track record. When she says she's done, she's done. Like, look at House.
Yeah.
She said, I'm burning the bridge with House," and she walked away and she never looked back,
Mhm.
even when people were, begging for her to come back.
Yeah. I mean, track record aside, that may change for the final episode because I feel like this
Oh,
show had a
yeah.
lot more impact on her than House did.
Oh, definitely. It's
so-
definitely a more family friendly, even
Yeah.
on set.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not out of the question, but I wouldn't look to it. All in all, if this is the last time we do see Emma, I think it is a satisfying ending for her.
Mhm.
Her
I
and
do
Hook
like the little
go
twist,
off
the
to
whole
have their
Hook twist.
happily ever after, and, they have a child together. What more can you ask for?
Or maybe 2 childs.
Yeah.
It can
could
be
be
twins.
Yeah.
Then we get this whole, and then one of them gets sent off away, and it turns out she's
Or-
a princess, and then her home planet gets destroyed, and then we have the other baby who's the son, who's like on some desert somewhere with his aunt and uncle.
Or they move out into the countryside and we get a new season of 18 and Counting.
Ew.
No. No. Talk about spin-offs, jeez.
That's a
Yeah.
spin-off, guys.
Yeah, one that nobody wants. But yeah, no, I think having this Hook and I think it was it Jake that mentioned it to me a couple days ago? He said you actually have a reason now to call him Rogers instead of Hook.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because we need to call him something.
Yeah.
Because he's not Hook. Well, he is.
I
but
don't
he's
know.
not.
I am really actually excited to see the new Hook, or Rogers, as you would call it, because
I can't, yeah.
because it's
I'm-
not him. So
Mhm.
he's gonna play it different, and maybe he'll have. I have a feeling the actor who plays it, Colin. He's gonna have so much fun playing this Hook.
yeah,
But
yeah, he's,
how different is he going to make it? Because so far it's been the same.
well, he isn't old. Well, he's the same
He is
because he
the
doesn't
same.
know who he is. But he's a much older version of Hook. He has seen
Yeah.
a lot more in his lifetime, so he's probably going to approach situations, hopefully, with more intelligence.
Well, I need to see that in flashbacks though, because right
Yeah.
now we're just seeing cursed him, and we never seen a cursed Hook before.
Yeah.
We still
I mean,
haven't.
also now we know that the Wish Hook has a daughter, and
And then
That's
where the
different.
fuck? But does this mean?
So-
So here's what I'm trying to figure out. Did this daughter happen before the whole curse scenario, the curse that didn't happen? Because they mentioned in this episode that he's you Hook up until a certain point in his life when the curse did not get cast. So if he had a daughter before the curse was supposed to be cast, does that mean that our Hook also has a daughter?
No.
no,
I
they
don't.
split
I
off.
don't. I do not believe that this Wish Hook, or Rogers, as we should probably call him now. I don't believe Rogers had a daughter prior to when the curse was supposed to be cast. I believe he had one during said period, this 28-year span, right? So He had a daughter at some point during then that he's looking for now. So it would be an adult. Or I couldn't say would be. It could be an adult. If it was had at the point in which the curse was supposed to be cast. Say he had one like that week, then he's got a 28-year-old daughter running around. So.
But it sounds like that she was already born when he was talking to him. So, he was.
Well, when he was talking to this hook.
Yeah.
So, so the daughter's already born. So that's what I'm saying. The daughter could be anywhere from a year to, a year would be a little ridiculous with him old and out of shape now. I'd say the daughter's got to be at least 5 years old to like 28, somewhere in that range.
Who said it? Jay Vasquez says, I think Roger's daughter is Alice because of the chess piece. God, I hope not.
Well, that's what everyone was thinking, but the same thing is, Jacori in chat says, but Rapunzel played chess too.
In the Disney version.
Right.
And that was not a defining characteristic of her.
Right. But
what if his daughter's Anastasia from Wonderland? No, I'm just throwing that. That is not out of the question.
I literally broke something on my desk doing that.
That wouldn't work because the Wish Realm wasn't created until after.
But here's the thing.
It's Wonderland.
This show can do whatever the fuck it wants.
I feel like the Wish Realm was always there.
It wasn't.
No, it was created with the Wish.
Well,
who knows?
Neverland was always there, but everybody says it was created because of Pan.
Well, but it was always there, but it wasn't the Neverland that Pan was living in. Neverland was like a barren land that people don't live in. Pan
Neverland was
there,
a thought. It didn't actually exist. When he went there, it manifested into a physical form, and it had an expiration date on it. That was the whole reason to bring Henry in. To try to make it
so Pan created Neverland as we know it, but like the land that he actually went to was kind of a place, sort of, kind of.
It was basically created out of a wish as well, and it had an expiration date. It didn't have a physical form, other than what Pan made it when he first went there, and then it had that giant hourglass, and he was trying to get Henry there to use the Heart of the Truth Believer to secure it into the real world permanently, and
there's so many theories in chat, and I hate all of them.
I don't. Yeah, I'm looking.
I mean, there is a possibility that Alice is Hook's daughter. It's possible.
I don't like that.
Whether you like it or not, it's a possibility. There is a possibility it's Rapunzel, and there's a possibility it's a character we haven't met yet.
Or Cinderella, as everyone else is saying. Because this old crusty ass Hook seemed to know Lady Tremaine.
Well, yeah, she cut off his hand in this one.
But I'm saying, is there more to it? I don't know.
No, she didn't say she cut off his hand. She said, I will cut off your other hand. Something like that. So she was making reference to if he didn't participate, she would cut the other one off.
But see, she's Cinderella's stepmom, so she's not even Cinderella's mom. She would have had to been married to Hook in order for that to even be a thing.
No, this Wish Realm Hook or Rogers, whatever, still got his hand chopped off by Rumple. It still all went down that way. The only time their path changed was at the point in which the curse was cast, which he had already lost his hand by
his daughter is Giselle.
And also, he was moving his hand in this episode.
There's some shady stuff going on with the hand. So I don't know, but
I mean, it could be. I mean, they have had robotic hands now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it could be that.
It's still a pretty stiff hand. They've mentioned
it is stiff, but he grabbed the doorknob with it. He was holding the cup, and he was.
Maybe he has a bunch of different hands that he puts on, and one of them makes a fist.
He just takes them
off all the time. That's his door. No. He has a door knocking hand and a doorknob turning.
Well, Weaver
hand.
did mention that he's got with one bad hand. He mentioned that, so it's not a real hand, so to speak. But he's using it. I mean, just because even if you had a wood hand, that doesn't mean you can't do anything with it.
One bad hand does not mean a wooden
hand. He has a Mary Poppins bag.
Oh, he does.
And he has all his hands in the Mary Poppins bag. And when he needs a certain hand, he just reaches in and does a switcheroo.
It's his handbag.
Exactly.
You might as well just be Inspector Gadget at this point. Go-Go Gadget toothbrush.
Yeah, we were there, Jake. Connected right there.
Go-Go Gadget toothbrush, and a toothbrush pops out and he brushes his teeth. Like, might as well just be Inspector Gadget.
It's like Gremlins, a little bathroom buddy.
Oh my
But
God.
I also do like the fact that he even mentioned as Rogers that he was looking for a missing girl, and
He gave
Lady
up.
Tremaine got in the way.
So that's interesting because he said he's looking for this girl. He went into an alley and somebody shot him. He doesn't know who, but he knows it was somebody who shot him.
Yep.
And then that a woman came up to him, placed her hand on his wound, and said, "If you believe, then this is going to work." And that being healing, the
Right,
healing
which-
magic.
Made us to believe that his version is Emma, because he points Emma out in the book. So he's remembering what happened in the unnamed realm
Yes.
to a degree, even as his curse self.
Yeah, it's just different.
Dare I say bleeding through? But
Yeah.
Nikki didn't like that pun.
No one did.
It's only okay if we do it.
Yeah.
We just ignore him now. And we move on.
Lewis is saying it's Rapunzel. He mentioned a tower and a witch. It's obvious. That could be. It could be. That is one huge possibility.
The rook is a tower, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Belle was also in a tower kept by a witch.
Well, who wasn't in a tower?
Exactly.
Right?
Snow White.
She was in a tower.
For all we know, it's another version of Sleeping Beauty. And the reason why he can't find her is because she's sleeping. Because he also mentioned something about the true love and all that kind of crap, and that's the reason why.
Well, the only two characters we know that we haven't seen yet that are coming up for sure
It's Tiana.
is
We've seen Tiana.
The only two characters that we have not seen that are coming up is Anastasia and Rapunzel. So those are the two primary candidates so far for Hook's daughter. But, we'll see, because I'm sure a lot of the new flashbacks that we're going to get, especially knowing that Regina, Henry, and Rogers are in the new realm, and they're going on adventures. I'm sure
I just
we're gonna
hope
get
they don't
these.
make Rogers and Regina a thing, because that'd just be really, really
No.
weird.
No, I don't see it happening.
No.
I don't see it happening.
No.
I don't want it to happen,
No.
but you know something with this show, you never know, but please do
I
not.
can see Rogers flirting with Regina. I can see
Well-
that, but I could see her be like, really? No. Because he flirts with anything with a pulse.
Yes.
you know.
But I do love that version of Hook, because I think it's hilarious. When I saw him in the Wish, he cracked me up the whole entire time.
Because he doesn't have a filter. I mean,
I
Well,
love it.
he does.
the original Hook, he had like a slight filter, but he grew into the
He was a
Hook we know
gentleman.
today. He was gentleman about it. Whereas the Wish Hook, he just doesn't have a filter.
He's a
and
babbling
he's just-
idiot. He doesn't know what when he's trying to talk to Henry and try to offer some words, he's just mumbling and fumbling over himself.
Henry's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, he's like, "Are you all right?" It's
How long were
fun.
you supposed to keep up this charade? I don't know.
He's just like, "I don't even want to do it anymore." Yeah, I'm not Hook.
But I love the whole mythology behind the magical message in a bottle. I really like that. That was really, really cool.
That when Henry sent the message to Hook, it went to all the Hooks.
Yeah.
Which
All
means
of the hooks.
there is another Hook.
There are many
Well,
other Hooks.
Ooh, more Colin.
I
Sign
feel
me up
like
for
we're
that dinner
actually
plate.
gonna get that. We're gonna have another
Well,
Hook.
there's
come and be like,
another Regina.
It's true.
And I'm not talking about Wish Realm. I'm talking about Wish Realm Regina, not like Evil Queen Regina from the.
I
Hook
want them
Whitney
to
thingy.
do like an Hook, like the Disney Peter Pan Hook. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. And I know there were a lot of problems that people were spouting off, going, well, Adam and Eddie said we weren't getting new versions of Hook, Regina
Well, it's-
and Rumple. Well, we didn't get a new version of Hook. It's the same one that
The
existed.
very, very, very,
you know?
very
Yeah.
old version of Hook.
We have the old version of Hook and the new old version of Hook.
The new
They still existed prior to the show. They didn't
Yep.
say, they never once said, we are getting the original people back as these characters. They never said that those were the ones that were cursed. They never outright said that the Hook that we know and love is cursed. They never said that. They just said Hook. They're not wrong. So
now are we going to find out that this Rumple is the Wish Realm Rumple? Because, we had that whole thing about him, because we had speculated last season about Wish Realm Rumple and what he was all up to and how he escaped and his whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't know what happened to him really, so yeah.
Yeah. We don't know, like, there's a lot of, and this possibly explains how the magic beans came back.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because if Wish Realm Hook is running around trying to find his daughter, and he's in a different realm than the one he started in, he probably had access to beans somewhere. And
Yeah,
if he's traveling around, he probably has a surplus of them.
Well, does he still have the Jolly Roger? Because the Jolly Roger can transcend realms.
That we don't know. I know at one point, our Hook lost it to Blackbeard and stuff like that.
He got it back.
So, right. So I'm saying you would think somewhere along the lines that Hook traded it for something or lost it to something. This Wish Realm Hook did.
Pretty sure he had it when they got married.
Wish Realm Hook got married?
No, I mean, I thought you were talking about...
No, I'm talking about Wish Realm Hook's Jolly Roger.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. They haven't really said.
Right.
And we also don't know what happened in that, 2 or 3 year span when, Wish Realm was off with Regina. Maybe they got in contact with Hook and Emma again and been like, hey, can we borrow the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that he thought that, taking out that Hook, he was going to get Emma. I was just like, seriously, dude? Really?
Well, they fell for it for 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
He
turns out
like,
you had
silly nonsense plan. Doesn't
he wasn't
really think about
he wasn't thinking. What he wants is, he's supposed to be happy.
His weenie was, he was thinking with his weenie's brain.
That's gross.
Yeah, it is gross, but I mean
That's
that's literally he just wanted Emma because true love and
because there's another
wham,
version
bam,
of
thank you,
him
ma'am.
who has it. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he was trying to find his daughter, or something was with his daughter and true love, and helping him find it.
He needed true love to break the curse on his heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Alex says that he's still a little irritated on the subject, but I guess I'm going to move on because it was an awesome episode, great writing. He's talking about the Hook swap. And I mean, I could get that. I get where you could be a little frustrated on that, but
I think
if Ab and Eddie revealed everything before the fact, if they didn't dance over their words and things like that, you'd know everything that was happening before it happened, and
I don't think. I think there would be more people who would have gone into this season already hating it, or even people who just wouldn't watch the show had they known this going in.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm pretty happy with it. I like the twist.
I did like the twist.
Once is always known for its twists. So
I wasn't expecting it, but I actually kind of like it.
And
no, I totally wasn't.
I went back and rewatched this episode a second time from when I initially watched it because I watched it with my mother. We had lunch and we sat down and watched the thing.
Jimmy John's.
So I guess this is turning into like a tradition with us now. Like we'll on Tuesdays we'll get lunch and we'll bring it back. And she'll come back to the house and we'll watch it.
She gets to watch it with her baby boy.
So we had sitting there in a second viewing, knowing now that Wish Hook is Hook or Rogers. When he starts talking to Rumple or Weaver, and he's talking about the watch and his expectations of the watch, and he's like, "I'm not the man you think I am." I was just like, oh, that's so clever the way they worked that in so early in the episode, and like seeded that where if you were really, really paying attention, they go, I'm not the man you think I am. And then it cuts to, Hook meeting the other Hook. And I'm just like, oh, I should have picked up on this the first viewing, but I didn't, and that's where I get really clever writing. So. But
yeah, no, I really
And clever
like
editing.
Yeah, I like the way where they're going with it. It's really different, kind of, and it's kind of refreshing.
Well, we need different. We need refreshing.
yep.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was
And it
the
helps-
reason.
And it helps the actors. They could play the same character, but he gets to play it in a
Well,
different
how
way.
fun is it to play old crusty ass drunk Hook who's not really drunk?
I know.
Pretty fun.
That was fun. I love him.
Well, I'm expecting
I
a lot of
almost-
stories to
I
tell.
almost expected drunk, crusty ass, fake drunk Hook to rip off his belly and be like dun 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 dun, and have his like nice chiseled
Well,
chest.
what
and
I'm
stuff.
curious now
Oh,
is how
please?
this changes the dynamic between Rumpelstiltskin and Hook.
Well, they still have that beef.
Right, that's
Still
the
there.
thing. They have this beef because our Hook and Rumple kind of put it aside.
They still hate each other.
Yeah,
Right, but they
a
put
lot
it
of people still
aside.
hate Rumple.
They
They
put it
never
aside.
put
They
it
can
aside.
tolerate each other.
Yeah.
No, they
But,
can't.
but yes, they've gone and they've done things together.
yeah, but that doesn't mean
I
they
said
tolerate.
they
each
tolerate. Not that they forgive each other, because that's far from it. They're just
Oh, come
not
on, they're
trying to
totally
kill each other during
BFFs.
family time and all that kind of stuff. But this version of Hook never had that.
No, he didn't have that even slight bonding. Like, I mean, there was points where Hook went to Rumple for help, like when he got his hand back on his first date with Emma. You know, like
And how great that turned out.
that didn't turn out great, but you know what happened because Hook had, you know, he trusted Rumple enough to help him with this.
You didn't trust him.
If he didn't trust him in a slight way, he wouldn't have went to Rumple for help. But you're right. This new Hook, this Wish Hook, this new old Hook,
Rogers.
Rogers. Thank you. They didn't have any
Make
of
him
that.
crusty.
They didn't have any of those experiences with each other to even remotely, even
to some
in this
kind
full,
of-
like you meet
Yeah.
halfway. They haven't done that at all.
Because I think our
So-
Hook has the understanding too, like, I can't just outright kill this Rumpelstiltskin guy anymore because I'm in love with Emma and Emma has Henry and it's Henry's grandfather, and if I do
Henry
that, you know,
doesn't
like,
give a shit about Rumple.
that's not true.
He doesn't.
That's
He doesn't give a shit about Rumple. Rumple doesn't
Not
give a shit about
anymore.
him. They do not
He's-
have a.
he
They
does-
never bonded. They never had like what little scenes they did have together. You can tell Rumple is like, "What the fuck is this kid doing in my shop?"
I mean,
And
I
Henry
guarantee
is
you
fucking
we're
over.
gonna find out that's not the case because Rumple wouldn't have come otherwise.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you we're gonna find that out because we
He
still don't know how
wouldn't-
Rumple got there.
He wouldn't have had Alice interfere with Henry at the ball with Cinderella if he didn't care for him at all.
Or there's
And
something
that's
in
not
it for
true.
Rumple, and he
Yeah.
needs Henry to stay out.
That
of
I
it.
will agree with Jake on. That
mean,
that is a huge possibility.
It could go
but
either way.
it probably goes both ways, to be honest.
Yeah.
But we're gonna find out why Rumple came, and it's gonna have a lot to do with Henry. So, to say that Rumple doesn't care for Henry is very mistaken.
He wanted to kill him.
Because Rumple realizes that, you know, it's all he has left to his connection with Neil.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, you screwed it up the first time. What makes you think you're gonna fix it now?
Well, you know, and now he has Baby Mo. Who knows where that is?
Yeah, Gideon's
Well,
coming
yeah.
back too.
Well, Baby Mo is like that's a whole nother thing, and you didn't do right by that son either. Just Rumple, you need to stop. Just stop.
You need to get a vasectomy, Rumple, because yeah, you need to just stop having kids.
Well, yeah, I don't know how it is you were able to have kids. You know, it's just like I'm surprised. Like we poke
He
you and
has
dust comes.
300-year-old sperm.
No, they poke
Yeah.
him, and literally the word poof comes out.
He needs to drink that potion that was given to the gypsy potion that was given to that one king's wife, so they couldn't have children. George, was it?
Maybe.
Oh, that's taking it all the way back.
Yeah.
Rumple just needs to stop reproducing.
Well, you know, I don't know where Belle is.
I don't know. Well, we're gonna find out, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean,
maybe
I
we'll
really
find
didn't
out that
care.
this is Wish Rumple.
I really didn't care too much about what was going on in Hyperion Heights this episode. The dance recital and all that. Like I didn't care about it.
I'm just glad
it was just going to show how vindictive and petty
Tremaine was.
Tremaine is, yeah.
Well, we already know that.
Exactly. It's like we already know how petty she is. Because if you know her character, even in Cinderella and even in the animated series, you know how petty she is. And
I think something to do with the way Henry was approaching Jacinda too, because you could see that he, like the first meeting they had in Ronnie's, he was stricken with her, and he feels like he owes her because of the stuff that happened with Lucy, how he got her taken away. Like he feels like he's at fault, and he wants to pay her back. He wants to help her, and I think that's his curse his not cursed memories bleeding through, as Dom was saying for Rogers.
Tiana's memories are bleeding through. She made another frog comment this episode.
Damn with your damn frog comments, and I think that you don't have to put those in, but this baffles me. This baffles me that I've talked to people who still don't know who this character is.
Really? Really?
Not all.
Yeah, I talked to them about it, and they were talking about they're like, yeah, I like the show, but like there's this one character, and like I don't like her, but I think I'm gonna like her as soon as I find out who she is. I don't know if she's important right now or something, and I'm like, bitch.
To be fair, we've been doing this for 4+ years now. We've kind of made it our job to pick and prod at things and pick out things that other people wouldn't see.
But come on.
I know it is very, very obvious, but not everybody pays attention like we do.
But come on.
But go on. I mean, they even showed her in like her ball dress in the flashbacks, and it was like almost identical to the one in the movie. So how do you not? And she's like, no, I don't want frog pigs.
Yeah. Lewis says, though, guys, let's be real. This was Emma's episode. And with that being said, what I especially liked about this being like Emma's farewell is it didn't over focus on her. It actually put her in as little as it needed to. And I think that was the beauty of it. And I don't know if necessarily that was part of the contract deal that Jennifer Morrison had, but the fact that they overshadowed her exit on the series with this Hook reveal, I think was a fantastic choice. So
even though they wrapped her story up and it was like the final farewell goodbye, it didn't feel like that. You know what I mean? No. It didn't feel like, oh, she's just going away forever. We're never going to hear about her again.
They tied it up, but it was satisfactory enough to. It's not an open ending, but it still can go on in other ways. Like Emma's story can continue on with her children. Or
it is continuing on with her children.
Well, I'm not talking about Henry. I'm not talking about Henry. I'm talking about like new characters we have not met yet. So
yeah.
So one thing now that I'm hoping that we explore into as we're approaching like traveling now and we get to see some adventures, because I think we're done dealing with the how this happened. With the exception of Rumpel, we still need to get that, but I feel like that's not going to come right away. I feel like now is adventure time with, Henry, Regina, and Rogers. And we get to see what they were doing in these other realms. I hope one of the things that is explored in some of these other realms that they may transfer to are different authors. I would like to see authors of all these other books and stories and stuff that we're dealing with.
Can we please just address the fact, in this show anyway, that Walt Disney was an author, and we need to like have the actual Disney versions of the characters in this show.
An actual Disney book for us to look at.
Yeah, they're like, hey, they made a movie about you. Here it is.
Yeah, that would be a nice little like.
Even if we don't physically go to that realm, just to get the mention somewhere would be really cool.
Yeah.
But. I know one thing that was mentioned is that a prominent LGBT storyline is going to appear this season. So at this stage, it's a little too early to tell.
We haven't met all the characters yet.
Right. So, do you guys have any guesses as to who it could possibly be?
And then again,
Tiana?
it could be Tiana.
It could be Tiana, but I'm actually leaning towards Drusilla, and I think that's where her redemption arc's going to come from.
See, and I'm leaning more toward Alice.
Alice too, yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe Alice and Drusilla.
No.
Does it have to be a lady?
No.
No, it does not.
It could be guys too.
I'm just saying, based on who we've met so far, we've prominently met females. So, just based on that,
Maybe it's Lucy.
And who's to say that we can't have, let's say everyone wants Mulan's not coming back, but there's Merida, and then there's also Dorothy and Red, who say that no, they're not going to come back in some capacity, and we already had that. But right now it's all up in the air. I think we don't know the new characters well enough to.
They can do whatever the fuck they want.
You know what? There could be. Even though Henry is Jacinda's prince, maybe it's her and Tiana that end up in the end. Things like that happen. People do change their minds or feel differently about a person. It can happen where Jacinda decides, she's very close to Tiana when things happen, even though she had this relationship with Henry.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible. It could be Rapunzel, too, for the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah, definitely. You don't know.
No idea. There's many, many possibilities.
Or maybe it's this Hook.
No.
Hook just decides that, my true love is what is true love?
What actually would be really interesting is to find out that one of the Hyperion Heights characters is in an LGBT relationship when, as the cursed version, when their storybook counterpart was not. That would be a really interesting dynamic.
I don't know. They would run into some issues with that. Because, really I don't know, because there's the question of, well, did the curse change their sexuality? Was their sexuality really fluid in the first place?
Yeah.
Or, they would need to tackle that.
What that would tackle is when they get their memories back, what that does,
Yeah, that
I think that would be an interesting storyline. I don't know if we'd ever tackle something to that
depth. That's a pretty huge...
Yeah, that is huge.
I don't know if we're there yet.
No, I don't think the general populace can
handle that. I'm not saying the show would
we had a whole uppity do about LeFou being gay in the Beauty and the Beast, and come on, we all
whatever. We all knew he was gay in the first place.
Jay Vasquez says in chat, Ronnie being a lesbian. That would be really interesting. It would. So, who knows? Lewis is saying, but guys, I want it to be two men. That is completely possible. We've started seeing that more and more on TV. Typically, the more accepted of the two,
even on children's shows.
But we have on the originals. There was a huge gay relationship, two males.
Mm-hmm. There's a cartoon right now on Nickelodeon called The Loud House, and one of the main characters has two dads.
Yeah, so it's completely possible.
Yeah. And so, and we got LeFou in Beauty and the Beast and his, man friend in the movie. And then we got Poe Dameron, who's supposed to be gay in the new Star Wars.
We don't know.
We don't know. Don't.
Yep. I don't know. So you guys have anything else for this episode?
Just speculation at this point.
Yeah, right now it's a speculation, but it's nice that they wrap some things up. And it's...
I want to know how many connections Henry has, because he set up that whole catering gig for Jacinda and Tiana.
Where did you get the shit?
That's where I'm saying, where does his connections come from? He's just an author who's wrote a fairy tale book.
And a very successful
It is very successful, but... Yeah, a Swift driver. Yeah.
He's very successful.
He drives in the business district where all the workers live, 30 miles away. So it's like a $50 trip.
Okay, now that they introduced Lucy as this little girl, I kind of want them to introduce like Lilo and Stitch, and then maybe her sister.
Can we please?
I can see her sister being gay, and I can see that. Because could be like Lucy's little friend and then her sister.
I feel like that particular character, those particular characters wouldn't be series regulars. It would end up being like Cinderella or Aurora, and they would fade off eventually, and it would be very nice to see for a couple episodes and then forgotten about. I mean, I wouldn't forget about it, but it feels like the writers do that on.
Well, Lilo, the character Lilo is
just gonna say I still haven't forgotten about Auntie Anne. So.
No, I just think it would be cute. I think it would be good. I think
it totally would be cute.
Because that would totally fit. It would.
Well, Henry never had friends. Young Henry never had friends. So Lucy, she's got to make friends somehow. So and she dances, and maybe she dances ballet at least. So maybe she finds a little hula dancing friend.
And they go feed punch together.
Yeah, and feed punch the fish.
There really isn't that many children characters that we have that we can pick out of, say, like Disney and stuff. Like there's Mowgli,
the Disney version of Arthur. There's Lilo.
Yeah,
not a whole
lot.
That's still not a whole lot. It's not a whole. I mean, we had problems with figuring out what kids were in Storybrooke, and then what kids were in the underworld. Like
all the kids in the school in Storybrooke were all the mice from Zootopia. Boom.
Just the mice.
Just the mice.
Just the mice.
Done. Answered. It's canon now. Put it in the wiki.
Or they were.
I'm also curious if we're getting Alice, are we going to get other characters from Wonderland?
Like Dinah?
I would like to see if
Kitty.
Right. I'd like to see them do a new. What would they do with the new Mad Hatter?
I don't know. They could potentially bring in another Mad Hatter, or I would like to see. I'd like to see another White Rabbit, or a Cheshire Cat, because we didn't get any Cheshire Cat. We did get him in a scene in Wonderland. Mm-hmm. Never saw him again.
Yeah.
And he was creepy as fuck.
Really quick, Jokori says, shouldn't Gideon look younger than new Henry because Henry was a teen when he was a baby? Curse and realm traveling. We don't know how that affects it, because say Henry went to another realm that has the same properties of Neverland, where people don't age, or vice versa. And we know, Gideon spent a little time in the Black Fairies realm where time moved faster. So we don't know what other realms characters could be traveling in.
We don't know where he is right now.
Yeah.
We don't know where him and Belle are right now anyways, so.
Yeah, I'm sure they will answer it in some capacity. The only thing that we know for sure is more than 10 years has passed. That's it. That's all we know. So.
I feel like the Gideon character we're going to get is the same Gideon character we got last season.
Well, it's the same actor.
I know it's the same actor. I feel like it's the same Gideon from the future or whatever.
I don't think he's going to be
baby
as
Gideon
evil.
Grown up. It's baby Gideon grown up. They said that he's now going to be an adult.
Okay.
Right.
So, yep.
So, no, I just think it'd be cute to have the Lilo and Stitch thing going on. And her carrying around a little plush Stitch would be really cute.
No, a little Scrump and a little Stitch, both of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is Scrump. I made her, but her head.
Do it! I just handed you guys a really good.
Well, they already filmed.
I know. But yeah, no, I can see them doing that. It was really cute.
Yep. And Lou says a lot of people thought Gideon was gay. Could Gideon be one of the gay characters? He could. There's possibilities everywhere.
We don't know.
Like we said, even Ronnie could be a lesbian for all we know. We don't.
Yeah. We don't know.
We don't know.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to play out. Next episode is called The Garden of Forking Paths. When Cinderella finds herself staring danger in the eye, she receives help from an unlikely source. Her rescue leads to an alliance that could aid the defeat of Lady Tremaine's rule and reveals a dark secret from Cinderella's past. In Hyperion Heights, Jacinda goes to extreme measures to stop Victoria Belfry from destroying Lucy's beloved community garden, while Lucy tries to convince Henry that Victoria is after more than just a plot of land. Meanwhile, Victoria makes a discovery that could alter everyone's fate. I did see in the preview a backhoe ripping the well out, and Lucy basically jumps in the hole. So.
Oh, I don't know. There's forks. That could be Ariel, or if it's going to be literal forks, be either Ariel or Belle.
Or they use the forks to dig up the community garden. Using mainly spoons, we dig a tunnel under the city and release it into the wild.
There are such things as like garden forks. They're like little pitchforks, you know.
Well, there is an actual short story called "The Garden of Forking Paths." It was originally a Spanish short story written in 1941. So
it also kind of sounds like you're trying not to cuss too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Forking.
Yeah. Wait. What?
Forking Paths.
It's forking paths.
It's a forking paths.
Get the fork out of my way, you forking stupid head. Forkering. Forkatash. I wumbo, you wumbo.
Oh boy.
So. Yep. Alex says I was a little conflicted about the promo for episode 3. It was very similar to the episode when Henry went to the mines. Lucy goes into the tunnels. Please let's not rehash storylines.
But that'd be
it's
interesting.
showing
what's down there. Is there another version of Maleficent down there? Because that's cool.
It's showing parallels that Henry and Lucy are pretty much the same. It's not rehashing stories. It's drawing parallels. There's a difference.
Yeah.
So, but
it's kind of like she is her father's daughter.
Jay Vasquez says, do you guys believe Hyperion Heights is Storybrooke in the future because it's or is that a
no?
Well, how did Storybrooke go from over here to over
Yeah,
here?
Storybrooke is in Maine. Hyperion Heights is in Seattle. They're on the opposite
We should
ends
take
of the country.
Storybrooke and push it somewhere else.
Oh, now we're getting into Lost territory.
Oh God.
Now we're getting to SpongeBob territory. Rachel knows what I'm talking about.
There's literally a wheel. There's literally a wheel on the island that controls where the island goes.
Lilo and Stitch. They go down to feed Pudge, and there's a pineapple.
There's a pineapple, and then they just find random ass spice. Yeah. It's like, what are these little trinkets that we found?
My friend who absolutely hated Lost, who never watched a single episode, just heard like little bits and pieces of it. And he's like, oh, so the island moved, so there's polar bears? What does the polar bear? Put on a pirate hat and grab the wheel and steer the island around? You know, and it's just like...
It might as well.
Yeah. So. Ashley says, Lost reference time. I actually didn't catch any on either viewing, other than the one that we've already had from episode 1, and that was Mr. Cluck's Chicken Shack.
And leave it at that.
Oh, well, also Henry's
Shut
door.
Up.
Well, yeah, but those are ones that were already established in the first episode, so there's no new ones. I'm not going to mention Mr. Clucks every week. That you guys already know. I made that very apparent, so, you know.
I want some fried chicken now.
You're welcome.
I've been craving, like, good old, KFC fried chicken.
Yeah, Popeye's better.
Not
I know
KFC.
Popeyes is better, but we don't have a good Popeyes on the island in driving distance.
Let's just end this discussion and I'll go to Chick-fil-A. Jake, where can the people find you?
Oh, you can find me and all of Mickey Gills and Gore and Monsters and Mayhem. Maybe at a Chick-fil-A later. It tastes like butter and hating the gays. Or on Twitter, tweet me @DrockerGotTheLife at TuNoverland. That's TONOWHERELAND. Join the Noverland Society.
Tastes like tears. And
are we not adding Instagram to this now?
No, that's too much. I ain't got time for that shit.
Nikki, where can the people find you?
I am so confused right now. I am I'm perplexed why someone, each and every one of us isn't in a fucking straitjacket right now, eating syrup from a frickin' spoon from an orderly. Seriously, we are screwed up,
because
guys.
we're not animals.
Which orderly would be feeding us?
I eat it from a fork. Thank you.
Eat it from a fork.
I don't know, but you can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24. LADYVENOM. I can't even.
It's
Fucking
not,
just
it's
look,
not
just read.
Nurse Ratched.
No.
Rachel, where can the people find you?
You can find me at VikingWitch76 on Twitter, and VikingWitch on Twitch. Hi! We're all screwed up tonight.
And you can find me down below. Don't even bother. And you can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube at /ASO TV Podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Till next time. I tried really hard to make that not happen by not even saying my Twitter name.
Well, you're gonna do it anyway.
It's gonna happen. Deal with it.
Jakori says, I have one last question. Well, shoot! Give us your question,
Yeah,
sir.
we're still here. We're still here.
We're just
Kind
hanging
of,
out with
sorta,
chat
maybe.
for a little bit
There-
after the show.
There was something I wanted to address further
But
up in
can't
chat, but
remember.
I can't remember what it was.
Hmm.
No.
Does anybody know what my makeup is a reference to?
A swan?
Yeah, it's the poster
Yes.
for Black Swan.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say Black Swan.
There was also was there there was a swan in this week's title
Mhm.
frame thing.
There
So
was.
it was reference to Emma.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's always a reference to Emma in every episode so far.
Ashley, you stayed awake. Maybe Jake will let you out of the underworld now.
I barely stayed awake myself. You guys, I've been up since 6:30 and I got 3 hours of sleep last night. So
But you should go to bed
Fantastic.
then.
I'm like, woo! And I've only had 1 cup of coffee today.
Oh, I've had a cup of coffee and 3 teas that are like the blackest of black tea you can find on
I
the
got-
market.
I got a
Oh,
bag of
guys,
chips.
Alex just sent us a nice tweet.
Oh, no.
Oh,
If
where
it
where's
doesn't come
my...
with dark chocolate, I don't want to know. I'm just kidding.
Alex, thank you.
My shit's not opening.
No
Yeah.
comment.
I don't think you want that to happen. Why are you? I don't even want to know why you're even playing with it.
Well, it's better than my shit not happening. I mean, seriously, I think I'd be dead if that didn't happen.
Oh, goodness gracious.
You can tell Rachel's overtired.
Yeah.
She's got a case of the giggles.
Oh my god.
Hi, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. SpongeBob. What does that make Patrick?
I don't know.
Wait, did Riverdale air? No, that airs tomorrow night, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think
Probably in reference to last week's episode. I guess.
maybe. No, he was in. Alex was in chat with us last night with
That
Riverdale.
was
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Riverdale airs tonight.
That's
Got
it.
it.
I don't know. This is my last show for the week, so
I'm
I'm out.
All the
Oh,
shows-
My last show. Yeah. Once ends the week, it puts a nice cap on the top and
Yeah,
leaves it for.
And Saw
My
starts
toes
the
are
week.
cold. My toes are cold.
Saw starts the week.
Oh, it is today, Alex? Okay, because like all these shows are changing their schedules, and I don't even know when the fuck anything is on anymore.
Yeah. A lot
I
of
mean,
us don't
I-
watch them live, so we don't honestly know when most shows air.
I feel like
just go on my
Alex
DVR
is
and
the
watch them.
future,
Well,
though.
I am missing my Survivor. Okay, so I gotta like always catch up on that shit.
That show still fucking airs.
Yes, it's
Yes.
so fucking airs. It's amazing.
Oh my
I
god.
actually saw a promo for it this season. It looked interesting. Not interesting enough for me to watch it, but if I was already
No,
a fan of it, I'd be
it's better.
more inclined to
I
watch it.
I mean, I
Oh.
I stand
Oh.
by this. It's better
Oh.
than Big Brother for me.
We're finding out about Coco this fall, the new Disney movie with the
Yeah.
I didn't
With-
know
with
it
my-
was this fall.
With
Yeah.
my people.
Yeah, no, they get the things.
Yeah.
Things.
The things and the stuff.
Is
And the
it supposed to be like the Book of Life?
It's not.
Like,
I mean, it's not the Book of Life. I don't know why everyone says that. Like, we can't have
No,
two
no,
fucking
it's-
Christmas movies and say that they're the same
No,
thing.
I'm not. I haven't
I heard
seen
it's more like
the Book
Home
of Life
Alone.
either. I haven't
Book of
seen the
Life
Book of
is
Life
really good.
either.
Book
So
of
like,
Life is really good, yeah.
I know it has to do with the holiday and everything. So I know it's not going to be the exact same movie. I'm just saying, is it the same premise?
Okay, well, like premise as in there's a land of the dead and there's a holiday where they come
That's
back.
all I need to know. That's
Yeah.
all I need to know.
Yeah,
And
no,
yes.
Alex, the way that ratings work for shows too is if my DVR is tuned in recording the episode, it counts as a view.
If I watch it on Hulu, it counts.
Yeah.
But I mean for live, you count for the follow-up viewing, but my DVR recording it counts toward the
Yeah.
live total.
Yes, it does.
Alex, I believe we are on season 34 of Survivor.
30. Wow.
Yeah, it's up there. It's older than me.
We're on season 69.
Which I'll be on that
plus
season.
5, take away 2, divided by infinity.
Oh, 35 actually.
Yeah, my DVR just never stops recording.
Dom, I suggest you watch this at least. Okay, not
Watch
maybe
what?
not this season of Survivor, but if you're gonna watch Survivor, start with which season should you start? Start with Survivor.
Yeah.
It's called Survivor: Brains versus Bronze versus Beauty. Start with that season and see if you like it.
I can't. I don't have the time.
You should do that. I'm
You
gonna
don't-
make you sit down.
You don't
go
realize
watch
how
it.
overwhelmed I am just doing what we're doing now.
No, you drop everything.
I can't.
Every time.
I can't.
You know,
I have like
entertaining.
2 shows right now that are like my guilty pleasure, and I only say as like they're not like shows that I should not be watching. They're not like, you know, Hannah Montana or something like that. It's just shows that we don't cover for podcasts that I get to just sit back and
Well, don't
enjoy
watch
and
them.
relax.
Has been confirmed. Dom watches Hannah Montana.
Well, who didn't watch Hannah Montana?
I did it.
I actually didn't. I've seen, I think it was the movie on the Disney Channel one time, and that was it.
Yeah.
I actually have never seen an episode of Hannah Montana. So that was for my demographic, and I don't.
My little sister used to like watching that, so of course I had to.
What
I
did
watched,
I- what did
I
I
watched
watch?
Zoe 101. That I watched.
Oh, I remember that show. Yeah, I remember that.
Jamie
That
Lynn
was
Spears.
before she got pregnant.
Yeah, and well, actually, it was during when she got pregnant.
Yeah, she got pregnant.
She got pregnant during the damn show, and they had
Yeah.
to like write her out of it.
No, but the 2 shows that I watch right now that are not podcast shows are both half-hour shows. It's Impractical Jokers and Big Bang Theory.
well,
So-
Big Bang Theory I still watch. We don't cover that, and I'm watching Survivor, and we don't cover that either.
Yeah.
And
You know what? I watched the back of my eyelids because I time I have for.
Here's a question for you guys that I've actually been searching around for a nice service that has it. Is the original Scooby-Doo cartoon? If there's anywhere that's, I mean, it's available on the Netflix package version where they send you the stuff you want to watch.
Have you tried the Cartoon Network Boomerang channel?
yeah.
Do they stream?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, problem solved.
Well,
I'm sure it's on there.
Well, I use the VHSs that I still have of the ones where you had to
What's a
buy the
VHS?
individual. The one where you had to buy the individual episodes.
Yeah, my VHSs are back in Canada, and I can't access them.
No, I still have mine with the old '60s music. And
I have
everything.
Scooby-Doo
It's
on
great.
Betamax.
I have it on Laserdisc.
Yeah, if you have a Betamax player, I'll let you borrow it.
Well, you know what? I still have my first DVDs when those were still a thing. I had these Scooby-Doo movies.
I have it on 8mm. I have to
Yeah,
pull out the
well, Jake,
projector and the screen. And
Do you remember HD DVDs?
Yes.
Oh, my dad loves those things.
Or what about the DVDs that you used to be able to buy that could only be watched once?
I never had those, but I do.
I never had those either.
I knew of
It
those.
reminded
but I
me
never
of like Mission Impossible. Like this movie will self-destruct.
Inspector Gadget. He just throws it back into the.
had-
Sorry.
But yeah, Scooby Doo. Those old episodes are hard to find, but luckily I still have mine.
If anybody, and I'm not asking Nikki because Nikki's overwhelmed. If anybody has any artistic talent, can somebody fan art draw Captain Hook as Inspector Gadget with multiple things coming out of his arm?
Out of his bad hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
His bad hand.
Said I'm not
It's a
asking.
bad
Nikki to do
hand.
that, but
I mean, after this month, some of my art free time gets freed up a little bit, so I might, maybe not. I don't.
I would love somebody to come along and just pick out one thing that we say from each podcast that's just absurd and fan art draw it. Like,
Shit.
That would be fantastic.
That's okay.
My
you know
shit isn't opening.
I think that'd be really hard to convey with a pencil and lead.
Somebody can do it.
We might have to make like an ASO TV podcast wiki where everything that is not actually true in TV shows that we've made headcanon.
Well, I made it. Well, Dom, you're not on the Riverdale podcast anymore. But I had the theory that Melody is actually Salem, and she is a golem made from a dead cat.
Yeah.
And that's why she doesn't speak.
I mean, I watched Riverdale, and I was in the podcast through the whole thing. I plan to watch it when I can, but if it's one of those things where I'm like really slammed for time this week and I can't watch it, then I'll catch it, some other point. But
And somebody please draw Nana Rolls flying through the sky on her wheelchair.
Nana Rolls
with the family portrait. With the family portrait. I'll be right back.
Oh man.
I mean, y'all can make a scrapbook with the shit that I say on this damn show.
That we all say.
I wonder if someone needs to be keeping the shit in a journal somewhere.
I don't know.
That'd be one smelly journal.
Would probably do this for me, but like I want somebody to just draw my character looks that I do for the show.
Yeah.
Just make a family portrait of the many faces of Jacob.
All right, guys, chat. I gotta head off because I am exhausted.
And Lewis and Ashley both say fart noise.
There you go.
There we go.
Enjoy.
All right, Rachel, have a good night. Get some sleep.
Yeah. Good night, you guys. Talk to you later.
Later. Oh, man. Yeah, but thank you guys, everybody, for joining us, for hanging out like you do every week. And, especially all of you guys who are bringing in new people constantly. I know Ashley brought her friend in this week. Alex is constantly getting new people in. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you again next week. Starting with Saw 7, the final chapter, on Sunday.